You're watching Let's Chat.
It's so great to have with me in this studio today entrepreneur, successful businessman, advocate, and now author, Matt Hullander. Thank you so much for coming in the studio, Matt.
Thanks, Andy. I'm happy to be here. We're going to promote my book today, but first I want to give you a signed copy, so that's for you.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
That's very nice. And from what I've been following with your book and social media, this is a book of inspiration, and it benefits a really wonderful cause. Tell us a little bit about the book.
So it's really stories about my life. It's not really your typical self-help book or a memoir. It's more of a smash up of both, with life lessons and stories that I wanted to tell. There's some humor, and it's just, we don't do chapters, we do principles, and we talk about everything from vision, time management, priorities. We finish the book with my eulogy, which some people think's morbid or weird, but you got to start with the end in mind. And so a lot of the book is about this underlying, I guess, cause of what goes around comes around, to whom much is given, much is required, and waking up every day with an open mind and not a closed mind to what's going to happen today and how you can help others. So
to whom much is given, much is required. I love that. I tell my boys that. You know, we're blessed in our community, and I feel like we need to give back. I know you talk a lot about struggles and overcoming struggles. How has your life, how do you feel like you're giving back in your way when some could say you've been given a lot?
Yeah, I think everybody struggles, and there's a whole principle about failures. You know, we don't always know what someone else is going through, and I share some of my struggles here. I've had a few losses and some failures, but typically you learn from it, and that's what we talk about in the book. And sometimes, you know, I lost a brother-in-law in a car wreck, and I talk about that in here. And sometimes there's not a good reason. Just bad stuff happens, and then you got to move on. So we talk about that too. You know, the world's not all rainbows, and so that's one of the principles we discuss in the book as well.
Can we talk a little bit about who this book is dedicated to? And I understand the proceeds are going behind this mission, all of them.
Yes, so I'm giving the proceeds to the Jason Foundation. We actually have a launch, a nationwide book launch in Nashville at Gibson Guitar in what they call their vault. And we're going to have some singer-songwriters there to help me promote it. And then the Jason Foundation is coming, and I'm going to present them their first check of what I hope will be many. But they raise awareness for teenage suicide and prevention. And I've seen firsthand how they help, and I know at least one life they've saved, if not thousands.
Wow.
So we're giving the proceeds from the book to them. They operate in all 50 states. They have very low overhead, but they're based out of Nashville, and they have an office here in Chattanooga too.
So now you can add author to the many, many things you've done and accomplished. What inspired you to become an author?
You know, I talk about it in the first principle, and a lot of people don't know the story, even some friends I haven't shared it with, but I had a cancer scare. And this has been a few years ago, and I had to go get a bone marrow biopsy, and they said it would take 5 days to get the results to know if I had leukemia or not. And those 5 days changed my perspective on life, and without drawing out the ending, I ended up with what's called Felty's syndrome, which I can live with. But the real diagnosis I got was I wasn't living life on purpose. And so I wanted to write this book to anybody, it's for any age group, about taking life serious. And I kind of challenge all the self-help gurus of the last 100 years in the book. Take goals, for example. I'm not a big goal setter. Honestly, I don't believe in goals. Google says 8% of people that set a New Year's resolution keep it, and then only 10% of that 8% keep it for an entire year. So obviously that's not a good way to go about, you know, getting better. So we talk about that in the first principle, which is having a vision of who you want to be and what that person looks like and how does that person act every day, as opposed to, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. So we talk about that a lot in the book, but there's 10 principles, that's just one of them.
Well, I love it. Matt, thank you for your candor today. What you said really resonated with me about you can't judge what you see on social media. People don't know what's going on inside, and we can all relate to that in our community, that everything looks sparkly and clean, especially in my industry, maybe yours too, that behind closed doors, it can be a struggle.
No filters. Hashtag no filters.
I love that. Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for my gift, The Daily Climb by Matt Hullander. How can we get the book?
So you can go to matthullander.com and it shows you all the ways, or you can go to Amazon, the book softback, hardback, ebook. If you want to listen to my country accent, read it, you can go to Apple or Audible or All Sound or wherever you get audio books. And if you have read the book, I would love another 5-star review, because so far that's all we got, which is great.
That. And 100% of the proceeds benefiting this wonderful cause. We never hear 100% of the proceeds benefiting something.
Yeah, I didn't do it to make money. I really hope it makes an impact. And I just said I don't have goals, but I do want to put this in the hands of 1 million people.
I love that.
So that's what I'm going to try and do before I die.
Well, hopefully we got a few 100,000 in this interview. Thanks for coming on. MattHullander.com. Go get yourself a copy and read The Daily Climb. See how it can inspire you too. Thanks again.